got Ohio State on the blue side and Wisconsin on the red side, jumping right into the game. Pings going out. Let's see what we got here going into this game.
Yeah, looking at these this setup, it seems like a pretty standard setup from both teams. I got a Silver coming out on the Ohio State side, I believe.
Wisconsin side.
Wisconsin side, my bad. But the Wisconsin side's got a Silver pop out. We got a little bit
early. We got a fight breaking out here. Just to get enough damage about halfway down on DeFreeze 1. It's going to send him back. The combination of Bacon Seeker and Dare to Defy, hitting with that empowered Karma Mantra and that Winds of War.
Yeah, and then you look at these comps, they're a little bit, the bot side seems a little bit different, especially with the Zaya and the Sivir. How do you feel about these comp? How do you feel about this comp coming out from both the sides?
So what I like about, we'll start with Wisconsin. What I like about their side is they've got a lot of really great engage with the combination of Sivir's ult with Camille and the Gragas, and a good amount of range with the Xerath. However, Ohio State has a lot of versatility when it comes to their engage, utilizing the Kha'Zix's leap in tandem with Karma's empowered shield, ulting with the Shen, and then also Dare Defy can jump in on the Galio. So both teams have a lot of engage, but I think Ohio State will have the advantage if they go even with just the amount of tankiness and durability that they'll have due to their two tanks in the mid and top lane.
Yeah, and how do you feel about this this Shen and Camille top? I feel like the Camille's going to be bullying that Shen for a little bit, but if she gets a little too close to the Shen, he can definitely take her down with the very surprising amount of damage he has.
Yeah, it looks like we do have a little bit of a trade going off here. Trade just about even, a little bit of advantage to Mike in the top lane. But the Shen, I feel, will, if he goes even, he will take the advantage later in the game, especially with the buffs to items like Banner of the Command now. It seems so common that if they manage to go ahead and they get that Banner early with that Baron, they can be pretty well unstoppable in terms of pushing against towers.
Yeah, do you definitely think there's going to be that Banner slave meta right now, where you get that Banner to power cannon minion, you get Baron buff, and you just start going ham on the sieging?
Oh, honestly, it makes perfect sense with Ohio State's comp. Remind me, Remy is rocking the Caitlyn, and they have the tankiness of both the Shen and the Galio to frontline. They can very easily push in with just the Caitlyn and Baron alone, but if you add that empowered cannon minion, that will make it extremely easy to push in on inhibitor towers.
For sure, for sure. And it seems like the Gragas right now is going to be going up to the top lane to try to do a little bit of reconnaissance, feeling out the scene, seeing if the Camille needs a little bit of help. But it seems like Camille's getting that early harassment like she should be on that Shen. She needs to take this advantage now and try to reduce the CS of Shen so that she can try to underlevel him and not allow him to make more of an impact when he gets that ult towards the mid or bot.
Yep, and we got pings going in the mid lane. Looks like they're coming in for an early gank. The flash is blown by DeFeasty, and pings are calling off, but there is that red ward over by the Raptors, so Dean Ice will be spotted out by the Wisconsin squad, and it looks like the Gragas, the Johnson, will be looking to come on in. The Galio dash is blown. We'll see if he can get himself out of there. Does a lot of damage there. Both mid laners fairly low on mana. We'll see if he uses his flash gun out of here, or will that be the death? He does manage to get out. The heal is blown by DeFreeze. So far, nothing traded there, but also Mike did come on down there trying to transition, so that does give the opportunity for the Shen to be able to get a little bit of farm advantage in that top lane.
Yeah, I feel like the Xerath kind of panics healed right there. He probably could have been fine without that heal, but he was probably expecting that Kha'Zix to do a lot more damage. But since they were grouped up, Kha'Zix didn't get that that Predator bonus from his passive, where if he attacks somebody when they're saluted away from everybody else, then they're going to be able to take more damage. So I feel like the Xerath could have probably held on to that heal and not been so worried when he saw him flying in.
Yeah, definitely a very just gut instinct decision there. The isolation damage was not able to be procced, and also just in general with having no items, just that Tracker's Knife, the Kha'Zix is not going to do a lot of damage with just his Void Spikes, so we'll see if that ends up hurting him later. He's got about still 2/3 left on the timer for that cooldown, so we'll see if Ohio State can take advantage of both summoners being down in that mid lane.
Yeah, I want to bring up real quick the Zyra pick down in the bot lane. I love seeing her come back. You don't see much play of her anymore, but since the new updates probably to the mage items, she's able to have a little bit more of a supporting impact and be able to root with that with her E. I love to see that she's actually being played again because she's one of my personal favorite supports. Since she's got so much, she can have so much burst of damage, but also so much CC at the same time. She makes a really good she's really good compatible with Sivir, who can do a lot of combos with her Q and her ult.
Yeah, it definitely can have its advantages. However, with the range and mobility of the Karma and Caitlyn, I feel that it may not be as effective as in other matchups due to just that natural range. We go and fight, kind of trying to break out in the mid lane, but just skill shots missing left and right, and playing back safely near that turret, rightfully so, without having those summoners. So far, nothing happened here, but Ohio State has already accumulated about a 700 gold lead, 800 gold lead here.
For sure. And it seems like they're...
Misses, but Kha'Zix is coming top. We'll see if Dean Ice can make a play happen here.
It seems like Mike's going to probably be able to get away with that mobility and being able to get that slow off.
But the Johnson is coming down. Flash blown by Agenseeker as well. First blood is going over to Wisconsin. Flash is blown by both squads here. Remind me, Remy should be safe. Going to take a little bit more damage.
Yeah, that play down in the bot lane, that was not good for them to be able to give that first blood over to that Sivir, because Sivir is one of those kind of carries that once she starts going, she's basically a hyper carry like Jinx, who once she starts going, she just pops off and it's going to be able to do immense amount of more damage the more kills she gets. So they're definitely, I think the harassment that Caitlyn and Karma's been doing is probably going to be lessened now from after that kill by Sivir.
Yeah, but remind me, Remy is coming back with a BF sword, does have that 5-pump advantage. We do have a little bit of going there, and already taken down. Unfortunately, Dare to Defy was a little bit too low, and that magic shield was not enough to keep him alive. Yeah,
it was just as simple as there. It was hard for him to be able to predict it. If he moved any closer to the Xerath, the Gragas would have probably body slammed him. If he tried to move away, he probably might have been able to juke some of those moves. But Xerath in the end weren't able to react in time for that.
Great use there of blocking that parry and utilizing a lot of that extra damage there, but taken fairly low, but also trading very well. Level 7 Shen taking advantage of the level 6 on that Camille.
Yeah, Shen, you could definitely see he actually had like half his health when the Camille came in, and now Camille's at half health too, because Camille's just going in trying to do these burst attacks, but Shen, he's not realizing that Shen's just gonna probably get rid of most of the damage when he tries to attack from the nullifying field he gets around his sword when he activates his W.
Absolutely, that in combination with the Bomby Cinder certainly helps with keeping him alive and also getting that constant damage from another melee champion.
Yeah, and if you look at mid right now, you can see that Galio's not taking too much damage from the Xerath, and that's because he's building that AP resistance right now. He's actually he's not. He's just naturally AP resistant. He's got a lot of health from that from the charm, from the catalyst of Aeons. He's able to get a lot more health in mana, but just naturally, Galio has that passive on his, I believe it's his W, that he's able to take more magic resistance. And you're definitely seeing how the strength is coming in right now with this Xerath.
Absolutely, Galio is definitely a good heavy champion against any AP. And we've got a fight breaking out here. Oh, the leap is blocked by the sun, but we do have that Shen all Stand United and the Heroic Engines coming in, and the Dare to Defy takes down the Johnson, that early kill on the jungler that might set up fight for the dragon. Looks like they will be going for that dragon. Shen is teleporting back to the top to make sure that Mike does not get any more free shots in the tower and does not absorb all of that farm. But that's a very great play by Ohio State, taking advantage of that, a little bit of honestly misplay on the side of Dean Ice, but they managed to recover with that combination of those two globals. Yeah,
the engage by Ohio State was not too was actually really great compared to Wisconsin's engage. Wisconsin's definitely now being shown that Ohio State's comp's very mobile, and they're not going to be able to just get these freebies where they just come in.
We've got them coming on in. They've got a lot of damage. Oh man, Dean Ice taken down. Defeasty taking too much damage and also just setting himself up to be very immobile there, turning on his Arcane Barrage, just missing everything. He does get the flash of Dean Ice, but Ohio State gets that second kill and the dragon, so that's definitely going to give them a good advantage here, and a lot of damage onto Emerald Plastic here.
Yeah, and it seems like even though Sivir got that early kill on that Caitlyn's still going to be taking advantage of her long range from her auto attacks and just poking her back and slowly knocking away that tower.
Yeah, so far it seems like taking stock here, looking at everything, we've got farm leads on every single lane and jungle for Ohio State, with the exception of Bacon Seeker being down 5 farm on Imperial Trinity. But we got a fight breaking out. Bacon Seeker is certainly dead. The Gragas ultimate in tandem with the Zyra plants does take him down. Feels bad, but they want Bacon.
Yeah, I think they just.
He likes Bacon.
Yeah, I think they overstated their stay right there. The Karma and Caitlyn should have backed off way earlier. They were both pretty low, and that Gragas was basically just a free kill for him since they were staying for such a long period of time.
Fight breaking out, using that hook shot to come on in.
We're doing lots of damage up top, but it seems like that Shen's now showing Camille who's the boss. The Camille in the beginning was doing a lot of damage to the Shen, but now that's coming to mid game. Shen's going to be able to show how much damage he can now put off with his after hitting that Q and getting those passive three auto attack buffed attacks.
Yeah, he certainly has that advantage of there. It looks like we got a little bit of a chase going in here, the jungle fighting over the Raptors.
Yeah, it seems like
does not manage to steal it, but Johnson steals it away with that smite. But yeah, on the note of this top lane matchup here, so Shen now has, not only originally starting with that Dorn shield, he now has the Bomby Cinder, that extra cloth armor, plus the Ninja Tabi, so he takes a ton of less damage, and also having that passive of Grasp of the Undying in that keystone for the runes certainly gives him a lot of durability, a lot of HP regen, and is just going to be an absolute threat now on this top lane. Now over 20 farm up, and it looks like we're going for a dive. The heroic entrance is called in, the taunt lands. Oh, but that clutch Hex Tech ultimatum utilized to stop all the damage from Dare to Defy, but there's not much more that Mike can go here. Blows that flash. He's got enough maybe for one more hook shot. That's what he's going to be trying to get out here.
Oh, nah, that's not going to help.
That, but it's not going to last much longer. One more auto will do it.
Oh!
Fight breaking out in the bot lane. Remind me, Remy is about to be taken down. Oh, but he gets there just in time. The parry from the Shen W lets them survive, but the double kill comes in from the Gragas barrel, and they might have made a mistake here, overstaying their welcome. Very low, but taken down, flash blown. Is he going to get that extra kill on the Trinity? Doesn't look like it. He might be able to survive, though, a little bit longer. There's not much more that Gragas has on his plate. The Shen is trying to make the great escape. He does utilize that passive shield. So close to taking him down, but who's going to win this fight? Who's going to win this? So close for taking him down, but man, very well played by the Wisconsin squad. Those Badgers are definitely making the Buckeyes have to fight for this one.
Yeah, that Shen was able to do so much damage to the Sivir and take her down. It seems like Galio, tries to pick up a kill, but Zara's able to stopwatch before anything happens. Which I'm surprised.
That stopwatch, but taken still again very low. One more attack will take him down, so he's definitely gonna have to make sure he backs here.
Yeah, and if you look at the mid lane, this Galio, now he does have magic resistance, and he seems like, even though, and there's flash blown by the Zeref right there when the Kazakhs came in for the jump. But back to the Galio, he's got so much magic resistance now that it seems like Zeref does no damage to him, even especially with that shield he has. It's going to be hard for the Zeref to be winning lane right now. All he's going to be able to do is just minion clear, and that's about it. I don't think he's going to be able to do much more with this Galio.
Yep, and now with the completion of that Abyssal Mask, he's certainly going to be a force to be reckoned with. Just already taking not a lot of damage due to the passives of Galio and just the nature of that champion. Now having that extra magic resistance, he is going to be a very, very challenging opponent. And even though it being melee versus range, he just has that advantage with that forms of CC that he has, the knock-up and the taunt.
Yeah, and it seems like the Sunfire Cape has now been completed by the Shen, the top lane, giving him even more damage than he already had. If you think he was doing damage before, he's going to now be ticking away even more with that upgraded item.
And so far, it's still fairly even, though. No one has been able to get a big push from our, but we do have a fight here, and immediately just deleted Dare to Defy and Dean Ice, taking him down right away. And we might even have a dive here coming up onto Mike in the top lane, taken very low. Camille is going to be forced to back off. There's going to be a lot of damage going up here, and that's going to be even more perfect timing for the Ohio State squad, because they're going to have to make a choice. Burn the teleport to get back to top lane and sacrifice all dragon control. And it looks like that's exactly what they're going to do.
Yeah, it's
get back top, and that takes away their advantage to be able to have a potential 5v5 in that bottom lane when that next dragon spawns here in about 13 seconds. Shen does have his teleport and is just about to have Stand United back up again.
Yeah, it seems like the Xerath needs to be a little bit more cautious in the middle and respect his lane opponent, because every time he's getting caught out like that, he's been just pushed up way past the or like at the mid section, maybe a little bit past the mid section. That just gives Kazik
another fight broken out here. Flash blown. Zyra's ultimate is used. Heroic entrance is also used, but nothing's gonna come of it. Just the heal is blown by Emerald Plastic. But first tower is taken down thanks to that distraction from Dare to Defy. Reminding Rummy is able to take down that first tower for first blood, and it looks like they might be going for that Mountain Drake. But we got another fight going out here in the top lane. Fails on that second part of the hook shot to not clear a ton of distance. Taken down to, again, a quarter. He had just teleported back into lane, and already is going to have to just walk right back down. We have another fight here. Stopped immediately by that stun.
Yeah, if you're looking at if you look at Wisconsin's team comp right now, it's very AP heavy, you see, and so they're going to have a lot of trouble taking down this Galio, who is basically a counter to AP champions. The only person that really could do true damage to this person is the Sivir and the Camille, and since the Camille's not doing too hot in the top lane, she's almost down by 40 CS by this point in one death, so she's really behind on items, and the Sivir's going even, if not actually behind a little bit by the Caitlyn, by actually also about 30 CS, so they're going to have a lot of trouble with this Galio. So now he's just a walking tower. You can almost call him a walking statue.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, now you even see with how far our run is ahead, he's already built that Raptors cloak, likely building towards that Banner of the Command, setting up for some early success. I would not doubt that Ohio State's going to look for maybe that Rift Herald before it goes away, and then honestly going right into an early Baron.
Yeah,
They've already got the Infinity Edge completed on the Caitlyn. They've sent their bottom lane top to apply even more pressure, trying to secure more and more of the map to be able to set up for that Baron.
Yes, and it seems like not too many tanky people on the side of Wisconsin, so I don't know. I feel like if they were going to build a Banner Command, maybe the Gragas would build it, but for the most part, it doesn't seem like they're going for that Banner Command type of style right now. So it seems like the Banner of Command meta versus still the straightforward pressure meta that they'll be going with, and it seems like the Banner of Command meta is right now winning on this end.
Yep, and that's not right now, at least due to the Banner of Command, it's just due to the advantage that Ohio State took with their comp being able to immediately turn fights every chance they get with the combination of the heroic entrance and the Stand United, just being able to take advantage of the mismatches of the fights and the lack of durability on the Wisconsin squad.
For sure, and it seems like the Xerath is going to be just getting poked down at the mid lane while the Shen and the Camille are fighting it off again. I think that this Earth Drake should be taken. I feel like Wisconsin or Ohio should be probably moving towards this Earth Drake with Mountain Drake, which Kazakh now he's going out back in. It looks like for a gank, but I feel like they should be taking advantage of this lane success they have right now.
Alright, Flash is blown there, but still taken down. He does manage to try to get a little bit of extra damage off, but unfortunately, Xerath's stun can only block one person. They're still able to get a lot of that off. Dare to Defy did have to blow his flash to get the taunt in range, but it's still enough to take him down, and this might even be a second tower from Ohio State, also potentially pushing down that third with the bottom lane backing in that top lane. And you've got Dean Ice going in for that Mountain Dragon as well. So that'll be two Mountain Dragons for the side of Ohio State. Galio's heroic entrance coming on in. Flash is blown by Mike. Top tower taken. And that second Mountain Dragon. Ohio State's just taking full advantage of every single gap that they can. Just continue to push ahead. Already has a little bit over a 2,000 gold lead coming into the 1940 mark. Coming into that 20-minute mark, they're going to have a good clear advantage to potentially go for a very, very early Baron.
I feel like Ohio State should be probably moving, try to grab that Rift Herald before it left. They had a lot of pressure in the top lane earlier, and I feel like they definitely could have bursted down that Rift Herald, and that would give them even more pressure to push down this mid and make sure that everything was pushed in more to be able to set up for another Baron. Then maybe they could have popped the Rift Herald and then went for Baron or something like that. So I feel like that was a missed opportunity, but all is all, they did a great job by taking both the bot and the top tower by rotating that bot from bot to top. There's a lot of confusing words right there.
Oh yeah, definitely Ohio State's taking advantage of how far ahead Remind Me Remy is. Already looking at completing that seal, going for that second item. We've got Dean Ice jumping in on Mike, so under-leveled and under-farmed in items. You've got the Kaziks being able to 1v1 a Camille. That's typically not something that you'd be seeing with how strong Camille typically has been in this meta.
Yeah, for sure. You can definitely, if you're looking at this, see the difference between the between Ohio State and Wisconsin, where Ohio State is basically just starving Wisconsin of gold and creep right now, and they're up by 3K, which doesn't seem like a lot, but for the item spikes that they should be getting right now in the mid game, it's a ton, because without the items, Wisconsin's going to be losing a lot of the power spikes, like Sivir getting her Infinity Edge after this Essence Reaver, or the Xerath being able to get some type of magic penetration to deal with that Galio. So definitely Wisconsin needs to start gaining some more CS and getting more gold so that they can start building their items and being able to actually do some more impact, being more of an impact on this game before Ohio State just runs them over like a train.
Yeah, and right now it seems like the train has been rolling in the favor of the Buckeyes right now, just crushing it on every single lane, not giving Wisconsin an inch when it comes to neutral objectives, having secured all 3 outer towers and both Mountain Dragons. I'm assuming that they're going to really be able to push in soon with this Caitlyn to secure that mid tower. And as soon as they crack that open, I'm not sure how much longer Wisconsin will currently be able to last. However, Wisconsin here, what they need to try to catch out is they need to try to catch them in a fight where they can burst down a target before they can get that Shen Stain United off. Or at the same time, maybe just try to burn through that at some point. But they've got to try to pick a very careful fight, and they do not have a lot of wiggle room when it comes to these fights.
And let's real quick look at the map right now. If you can see the map, Ohio State is just going through all these bushes and warding and getting the vision on their side and denying vision from Wisconsin. And they're both teams have been doing a great job of vision, putting down wards and everything. But Ohio State's just acting one step better, and they're clearing out all these wards so that Ohio State can now be more prepped for taking, say, a Baron or a Drake, or moving teams from one side to another, while Wisconsin's really just left in the dark, not knowing what's happening most of the time.
Oh, absolutely. We've got them jumping in. Dean Ice is jumping in with the Shen Stan United. Gragas' ultimate is blown. Same with the Sivir's ultimate. Oh, Dean Ice is taken fairly low, but Ignite and Flash burned. Still to see if there's anything else going on. Oh, man, the ult and the taunt and the Flash coming in. They finish off Bacon Seeker, secures the kill on Emerald Plastic. They're jumping in there looking for more. They do secure that final outer tower, and Dare Defy with the Winds of War taking down Imperial Trinity, and it looks like they're looking in on that Camille. Lands on the trap, wants the cupcake. Oh, just getting away, but not anymore. You cannot stop this Galio, this Dare Defy coming on in. They do manage to get the redemption kill by killing off Dean Ice, but it might be too little too late. Takes him down, and finally, everyone taken down. The ace for Ohio State at 23-39. That's certainly going to be that inner tower and possibly that inhibitor tower too.
Yeah, you could definitely see the Galio's potential right here. None of them were really able to do any damage to them. I feel like the only damage that Galio really took was from turret shots, and so there was nothing much that Wisconsin could have done there to fight that Galio, especially since the Sivir was dropped so early. The only potential that they could have started spiking down these people was basically gone before the fight even started. So for them to not be able to take down the Galio, and the Galio just going in, was just hard to stop.
Oh man, you see now, there's not one, there's 2 banners on the side of the Buckeyes. You've got the Shen and Karma rocking the banner of the command. So when it's coming to all that durability and just that ability to push, I'm suspecting Baron's going to be very soon. You've got a 6-1 Galio. You've got a 0-1-5 Caitlyn with 2 items completed and just about completed with that second seal item. They do a ton of damage.
Yeah, with the range from the Caitlyn being able to poke people down to keep them away from the Baron minion, and the Galio and the Shen being able to keep the Baron minion alive, I can definitely see that OSU is going to probably take this Baron, and then they're just going to run it down mid, and it's just going to be game over for Wisconsin. So Wisconsin cannot let OSU take this Baron. If this Baron goes to OSU, it's just done. I feel like there's not going to be much they're going to be able to do to stop this.
Yep, and third dragon is coming up. I'm not sure which dragon it is, but if it is a third mountain, then it is a third mountain. If Ohio State gets this third mountain, then it could be tough. However, Wisconsin is posturing around the Baron. They might try to go for a sneaky Baron steal here, but they do not have Emerald Plastic in position, so unfortunately it does not look like they'll be able to do that, and there'll be a quick and easy dragon thanks to the other two mountain dragons on top of it. They now have 30% true damage to deal onto that Baron. Bacon Seeker and Dare Defy clearing out that vision from the Wisconsin squad. They're not going to be getting anything here, and it looks like Wisconsin is just absolutely in the dark.
Yeah, it seems like they're not communicating all that hot. It seems they're a little bit Wisconsin seems a little bit here and there. They're not understanding what they want to do. They're kind of just playing passive right now, which they don't want to do. They want to probably try.
And the Flash jumps in with the taunt on top of the Mantra Inspire, taken down, immediately deleted Imperial Trinity, and that'll most certainly be the start of that Baron buff. Yep, Ohio State jumps on in for that Baron. Blue Trinket is popped, but I do not believe that anything in Wisconsin's playbook right now can get them to be able to stop this. It is just being melted by just the trifecta of Remind Me, Remy, Bacon Seeker, and Dean Ice. Immediately taken down. They are jumping in with On the Hunt. Does block it with the Spell Shield, but she might still not be able to get away. Gragas' ultimate is used. And if I'm Ohio State, I'm running down mid lane right now.
Yeah, that was definitely a good play. I don't know if the Sivers going to get away, though. I don't think they know about the
fight is not over. The fight is not over. They're taken so low. Oh, who's going to beat it? Dean Ice secures that kill. Bacon Seeker was probably saying, I got this, and probably yelling that he KS'd him. But Ohio State just running down mid lane. They do have both banners of command up. They can pop them in either lane or just both in the same lane. They're waiting for probably that next cannon to be able to get that extra damage off. For those of you that have not read on the patch notes, they did buff it, but we're jumping into a fight right away. The Shen Ultimate Stand United and Heroic Entrance used in, already taken down the Priesty, and they're looking in to kill the Johnson. Remind Me, Remy takes him down with the critical strike from the headshot, and they're just jumping straight in, going for that inhibitor tower. Man, just Ohio State just running over the Badgers right now. Already at a 10k gold lead, 15-7 kills, 3 Mountain Drakes, and currently rocking the Baron. Ton of damage out there. They're jumping right back in. Immediately delete Imperial Trinity. She just got out of base and is immediately deleted again. Sent back to the fountain. You've got the empowered Baron cannon minion jumping in, taken down, and unless there's a miracle here, Ohio State is going to take game 1. Ohio State has taken game 1, 1-0 up on the Badgers.
Yeah,
what a game coming out of the Buckeyes.
It was a crazy game. I'd say I'd have to give the MVP to that one to Shen. Even though Galio was doing tons of damage and be able to take all these CCs, Shen just seemed like he was always everywhere. And whenever somebody was in trouble, he was there instantly. And the Galio's matchup was just perfect. Like they built into this Galio. Like the Galio couldn't have had a better matchup where the majority of the team's AP and all this damage is just nullified by both his natural passive shield from his W, and then getting that Abyssal Mask, and then even topping it on with Magic Resistance Mercury Treads. It was basically done at champ selection for me to see this, especially when the Zeraf's damage just wasn't there at the end.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Ohio State taking full advantage of what their composition could do. And honestly, I think it was just the early game was going to be the critical component for both these squads, and Wisconsin was not able to take advantage of, I would think, honestly, that being able to take advantage in that top lane. You know, there were so many times that Shen jumped in and missed that taunt, and they could have combined it with Gragas' belly shuffle with the Camille hookshot, just gotten a ton of damage, forced out a flash, maybe forced out an early teleport. They just didn't punish the top lane enough to be able to stop him from being able to steamroll. And just from there, honestly, mid to late game, it was just all Ohio State with the durability of their mid and top lane and just this raw power that they had in Dean Ice and Remind Me, Remy.
All right, guys, I think that'll be wrapping up for the game 1. It seems like that Ohio State is going to be going out on top on this first match against Wisconsin. This has been ACL Main. That's the first match. We'll be coming into the second match with me, Sinful Wishing Basket Nights, so stay tuned for this great second match.